We had an Ask the Bar that came about around the end of the last episode. That the question was, why does the man have to take the initiative?
This sounds like some bullshit.
Can I answer?
To start the conversation or start whatever the interaction is. Why does the man have to?
It's evolutionary.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Are you talking about as far as in a setting like take the first shot?
Yes.
Yeah, anything. Like, why the man, like,
Cause y'all niggas don't like aggressive.
I know what I said.
you ain't been talking.
I thought you were talking about as far as approaching.
You and your girl been arguing, right?
Ask this question
For a
on
while,
one side
right?
of this.
I ain't been talking.
That's a good question.
You are going to have to be the first one that I was going to start.
Ooh, that's a good one right
what we
there.
doing?
That's from a
What are we
relationship
doing?
span
You talking about,
standpoint.
you talking about like apologizing or?
Anything, you got to start off.
Always. Thank you.
You gotta
With
start it
anything, the guy has to be the one to initiate. Why is that? And I think that was the question. I don't know if that was the question, but that's what we rocking with right now. So, what's your what? Come on, what we at with it?
Say, like,
Why? Yeah, why?
To be honest, I don't know it. I don't know why. They looking at us. I don't know. Like
Oh, I love about it night.
we are the head, right?
Yeah.
Bible said we are the head.
I like that.
So I guess our wives, our women,
Who's the
when
next?
it comes to a certain situation, they believe. You know what I'm saying? I think they believe that. So
When it's beneficial.
when it's beneficial, so they look at us like they want us to start off.
Exactly. That's what I said. So that's some
They
bullshit.
want to start it off. So when we start, as soon as our mouth opens up, say, okay, what's wrong? I'll tell you what's wrong.
What is
So
shit line?
they gonna let it out. They just waiting for us to say something.
I agree. I just want to hear from married man. Oh, don't you run from this. Don't you run from this. Come get this work.
But I accept. I know what she wants.
Yeah.
I know what wife wants. Everybody has it. You know what I'm saying? There's arguments and all that.
Me and my wife, we the same. We like to have the last word, or we more stubborn. So when we get an argument, we might not talk. Hey, you know what I'm saying? We just, but like you said, bigger man, I'll come to her like, hey, you know what I'm saying? What we doing? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It's just like you said, with the head of the household, it's just.
So we just gotta take it across the head. Man, you got your face bald. I could feel your eyes on the earlobe. What you got to say, brother? Ooh.
I'm just a fiance. I'm still learning.
I'm sorry. You done been that girl.
Hey,
That makes
I'm the age 6'6".
You a fiance?
I'm him.
You him?
I'm it.
Hey,
You're a prospect.
I'm still working on myself, man.
Good answer.
I prayed to God. I said, man, God, just take me in the right direction. So I'm on that course right now. I'm still following his page, but I really feel like, man, within the last year or two, like I've been working on myself as far as temper. You know what I mean? Like I have a very bad temper. You know what I mean? Like just overall, you know what I mean? So I can tell within this last year, man, like he definitely worked with me a lot. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things now that a year ago. I'm sorry.
Who is he?
Come on, man.
Who is he?
I've been drinking. I forgot what I said.
You said he was working on you.
No, it's Jesus. Come on, man.
I'm just making sure, man. They try to take him out of the school. We can't take him out of the podcast. Just say his
But
name.
like stuff that would bother me a year or two ago, it doesn't even faze me no more. You know what I mean? And like OC say, I have become a man now where if we ain't talk in like an hour or two, I'll go down and ask, man, what you want to eat? You know what I'm saying? Just something to keep the conversation back going.
Just to ease it.
Just to
You know
ease
what I'm
it.
saying?
Just to ease tension.
Because I'm not that type of person, man. I know, man, every argument me and my wife have, man, you know, I say what I got to say, and I'm done with it.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy because me and Shaad actually talked about you one day and we said it, he was like, no, he don't really say too much, but when he does say something, it's like, it's understood and he moves on. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of guys.
Yes, I ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about.
But it's nah, baby. Now this not. This ain't
Don't be messing with me.
this ain't nothing bad. But what I said.
Like, look, there go.
No, I ain't mean it that way when I said.
When I say something, when I say something, you know I'm done with it. But she might not be.
And I mean that with multiple situations outside of just. You know, your relationship.
So she gonna get what she gotta get off her chest. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna take it, whatever she say. And we gonna have our conversation. And after that, we gonna have an understanding. We gonna get something to eat. And we done with it.
Right.
So with that being said, we got a talkative audience. So let's see what they got to say as far as why does, and we'll go with a hand raise of who we'll go with. Why does the man? No worries, we're going into 2021. The man have to initiate everything when it's everything, anything.
Supposed to lead the family. He used to be fucking up. Yeah.
Wait, I don't like that statement.
We got one hand raised.
Everything.
Can I be honest?
You want to bring it to the front?
No, let's let. I'm gonna go.
Generally speaking, men don't really like aggressive women. So if women take the first step, like not in, if a woman just approaches you and is like, hey, what's up? Let me get your number. You're gonna be like, well, you a little pushy, sis. Or you might entertain it for a little bit, but that's generally speaking, that's not the type of woman that men gravitate towards. Therefore, and women like to be chased.
And
so,
men like to chase.
And men like it's evolutionary, to be honest.
Men like
Well, all right, but at this point, we're not even talking about the chase. We talk about everything. Like the guy has to. Oh, my bad. I don't know what he meant, but everything. The guy has to initiate everything. As far as what OC said, he said it from a married man standpoint.
That's true.
And then it's and then if we decide what we gonna eat, then after a while it's gonna be, oh, you acting like my mama. Like, what do you want here? You want us to, let you lead the way, or do you want us to lead?
Honestly, I don't know if I can speak for every guy.
Don't put that food situation in there, cause we can ask what you want to eat. It's gonna be what?
Shit, they gotta be hungry.
Don't matter.
And
I'm going to Jacksonville today.
I'm just kidding. I lie.
I want Jacksonville.
the bar tonight.
I don't want Jacksonville.
I want that. Well,
No, I
thanks. She didn't want that.
Actually, I ain't got nothing to do with it.
That ain't got nothing to do with wifey. My baby good. She the
Hey, this ain't no everything. All I want.
Wifey good.
I just want everybody to know
I want
that the Bar Live Barcast does not have a written script. So this is whatever people say. That's what they gonna say.
This ain't got nothing to do with wifey.
I got points on my ass.
Good.
Whatever she want.
My A-Rap say, oh, this is good. Everything good, baby.
Right. But that's how most of them.
Cool. All right, so we got a hand raised. We got a rebuttal, I believe.
My follow-up question was, were you referring to the statement for people who are in relationships or outside of relationships? Because those are two different.
So it was an ask the bar question, and this dude didn't put it in context. Fame. I'm name dropping on this bonus.
We name dropping.
You got to toast to Fame.
You gotta point out Fame, because he's fooling.
Show up, but we still gonna toast to you for the ask the bar. My bad. I probably should have said it was you.
Okay, so can I give one more follow-up?
So they won't find
So, alright, we're going to let you get your follow-up, and then we're going to do an ask the bar question from the audience, and we'll all partake in that.
So, in my mind, if it's in the context of a relationship, a woman wants a man. So, a woman is going to naturally submit to a man that she trusts, right? In a relationship setting. So, submission is supposed to be a mutual compromise, right? That means I let you take the lead. I'm going to take the lead on some things, but when it comes to my relationship, like, I would prefer my spouse to take the lead in certain areas where I'm weak. So I'm gonna submit to him in those areas and let him take control. Also, like, for me personally, he got shot in his leg.
The shoe.
Oh, his shoe?
The shoe. Oh, the shoe. Oh, my heart.
You need to stop buying something.
Oh.
If I'm gonna take his lead because I know I'm more emotional. And I know that he is not. So I'm gonna let him initiate certain conversations because I don't want to overstep, overcrowd, get on his nerves. Like, if it's a matter of feelings, I can talk about feelings all day long. But he has a very short window in which he will talk about feelings, so I'm gonna let him start that conversation. It goes better that way if I let him initiate the conversation versus me being like, "Can I talk to you? Can we talk about this right now? Can I get this done?"
But I agree with her because in some situations,
Exactly.
I need Ashley to get ghetto. Oh, I let her handle that.
So what you saying on this podcast is
she's not ghetto.
Ashley is ghetto.
She's not ghetto. But
Do that.
But listen, when I need somebody to turn up, I'm like Ashley, hey man, it tripped me. You need to call me real quick. Oh, she gonna call him to turn up.
Right. But see,
You know what I'm saying?
But see, I can understand it.
I might be off topic.
Growing up, my mom she was that one. Like, she go to the store and they might be like, let's say she returning something and she don't have a receipt. Like, man, we can't take this back. And my mom, she gonna make them take it back.
Hey!
But me growing up, I don't act that way. So there's a lot of stuff that I shouldn't speak up on that I don't because I see how she lives.
I'm like that too,
I'm
bro.
being real. I hate confrontation. Like,
I don't hate conversation now because I gotta go through it all the time, especially at work. I can't run from it. I can't run from it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
give you an example, man. Like, we was in New York. We took a trip to New York, probably like last year, and the waiter brought our drinks out and like wasted the entire drink in my lap.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You was like, it's okay.
I was. Because I don't like a lot of controversy. I don't like bringing a lot of heat to somebody.
Hold up, no, I understand that, and you've been working on yourself, so your temper, you done brought that down some. But did he wet your booster seat?
Oh my God.
You talking about, yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real to go, Shaad. It was so dark in there, man. I couldn't tell if you was in there, so I just couldn't really see like that. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know what. I didn't know what was going on. I said, well, Shaad, y'all be here somewhere, so I couldn't really feel like that.
You ever seen The Dark Knight?
I'm looking at it right now.
No, I'm not The Dark Knight. Like, see,
The Dark Knight.
That's how you get confused. That's the Killmonger. Not the Joker, boy. You better go ask somebody. Hey.
But see, he got on top of me, man.
No, I'm not. With that being said, we're going to go to Ask the Bar question. Anybody wants to ask the bar a question, and we will give you whatever response we feel like at that point. Nah. Because I'll mess around and ask y'all a question.
Woo-wee!
Gotta let people
Keep
think.
it light. It's New Year's.
It was like,
I mean, we can keep it
Oh
right.
no.
Shit, we got
She
here.
be going left at the bar.
left,
fact.
right, up, down. Who cares where we go?
We've been having bars, beverages, you know, it's a little honest.
We're a little influence. You know, a little lot.
I don't know, I ain't got no question for y'all, because
I'm trying to think of it.
No questions?
what's the question? Ask a question.
I always got a question,
Well,
man.
ask a
I
question.
know Jerry got some.
You got a lot of women over here that'll answer.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't even about to ask y'all no questions.
Yeah,
The
you
thing
don't
is,
got nothing to say.
women,
You don't want honesty.
women ain't never gonna understand
Oh, here you go.
a man.
Oh,
No. Let me tell you why. The makeup is different. And Raven saw me right now, like, ooh, I knew you were gonna say that. And you right.
Jesus.
Raven.
That was Raven.
You about to say something crazy?
But
Light him up.
this is it, right? The man and the woman is made up differently. And it goes back to what I think was just said as far as submissiveness, if that's a word, where it's a compromise. Because at that point, it has to be some type of understanding. And the thing is, I think with men and women is not a lot of understanding because we are made up different ways. We are like you said, the head is gonna do something totally. The head got a lot more to do than the arms and the legs. But the thing is, once you start calling the female the arm and the legs, now all that head shit go out the window.
But you know how I look at it?
Can't nobody understand this.
Oh, now they won't talk.
People don't communicate.
Hold on. Go ahead, O.
I look look at it when it comes.
Now they won't talk.
When it comes to me and my wife and my family, my future kids, I look at it as if I'm the head, but my wife is the neck. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be able to turn without her. Okay, so
you gotta communicate on that.
That's why you can think without her.
I can think without her, you know what I'm saying? I can make a decision, but I might need her to be like, oh, that might not be.
But my thing is, what about when you decide that as the leader or the head or the one that's sending all the signals to let the neck know that we need to turn?
That's right. It's gonna force it.
What about when? But this is the thing. This is the thing, though. What about when that decision isn't what the neck wants to do?
Yeah.
So now you be turning into
come into fact.
Compromise.
You know what I'm saying?
Where's the brain though?
In the head. So you know what hey.
But I'm gonna keep it real though. I'm gonna keep it real. Like,
I get like trouble. Go ahead.
That's where
we about to go to the audience in a minute because they're scowling.
That's where the
trust. Exactly.
She's not with that man for no reason. He done built up trust over the years, so she trusts him to make a.
I agree with everything you're saying as a guy because and I mean I'm just pushing the envelope because that's what I do. Push the envelope.
Gotcha.
But what happens when your decision are the decision that you want and what you get?
Compromise.
What's the compromise?
But I'm good. But see, me personally, I'm good with compromise.
I am too.
Because
not because you ain't got no temper, man. We trying to tell you that.
It's gone. I pray for that.
You ain't.
But look, I have a significant other that I trust in making great decisions.
That's right.
Yeah.
Me too.
I mean,
if
not, I wouldn't damn propose to. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
So if it's something that me and her agree on, we good. If it's something we don't agree on and we going with her decision, 99% of the time it's gonna everything good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, it's times where.
And if it's bad, we gonna live with it.
I mean, yeah.
It's a choice at that point.
Together.
But it's been times where she made a decision and I come back on the back end. I'm like, what? I'm like, baby, you was right. I'm glad we did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as it hurt me to say that, I'm becoming a man where I can admit that what you was like. You made a good decision.
Why it hurt you?
I had a big pride. Ego. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, shit, we're a team. So she won. You know what I'm saying?
With that being said, we're going to take
They didn't hear
rebuttals
us. They didn't hit the people in the back.
from
They ain't
the
hit the
audience. We
people in the
only
back.
see hands.
I'm gonna say one reason why people don't understand as what you were saying is because of one word, communication, and people don't listen. So if you don't communicate with somebody how you feel or what's going on, or if you don't listen to when somebody's communicating what they feel or how they feel, of course somebody's not gonna understand you or understand what the fuck you got to say. That's all I got to say about that.
That's listening to take in, not listening to respond.
Say that one more time.
But at some point, don't you have to have a response?
You do, but you gotta listen.
But you're waiting to respond. You're not even taking in what's being said because you're ready to rebuttal already.
You're an educator. You know how we say in the classroom with your hand up while I'm talking. You're not listening to me.
I just want to know. But the thing is, if you can multitask, why can't I have my hand up and listen to you and take in everything that you're saying and understand what you're saying and give you a rebuttal? What time frame do I have? Or what grace period do I need to give you to allow you or your pride? Because we never talk about the woman's pride.
When I'm done, finish saying.
But, so when you're done finish saying what you're saying, I can reply. And that means that, so now that I have something, or I'm articulate enough, or I'm able to articulate myself enough in this moment right after you spoke, now I wasn't waiting for you. Or I didn't listen to you, or I didn't understand where you were coming from?
You can then, but in the midst of me trying to explain or literally talking to you, then pause. Actually listen to what I'm saying before you try to respond. If I'm asking or saying, well, not necessarily asking, because if I'm asking, then I need you to respond in. But if I'm just speaking, let you know how I feel, give me a chance to say that. Don't start questioning how I feel before I'm finished saying it. Because then you might get a little bit of clarity in about 20 more seconds if you just listen.
So, let's just get to it. It's about that time to have those type of conversations at the bar. We've been frolicking and whatever. So we'll just piggyback off some of the last conversations and kind of go from there. So what was said earlier from some of the guys that visited the bar was that a female should be submissive, and Shauna, you kind of chimed in on that as far as being submissive and what your perspective was on that. So I would like for us to give you a little more time to expound on that.
Okay, so I believe that for a woman, submission comes naturally when they trust their mate. So if I'm with somebody and I trust him fully and we are that committed, I'm going to naturally submit to him. But I also believe that submission is a natural compromise. So when I was growing up, I thought submission means like you're a weak person. So when I first encountered my fiance, I was like, I'm not submitted to no man. Like, I'm not, what you talking about submission? I'm not weak. But I had to learn what submission actually meant, and that it is a mutual compromise. So that means I just let him take the lead in some areas, and that he also needs to let me take the lead in some areas. So it's not that a woman should be like exclusively submissive. It should be like a mutual submission depending on what the time is, what the avenue is.
So what I'm understanding is submission from your perspective is when a gentleman and a woman identifies that they can put the pride aside, egos aside, for the common good and figure out what is going to be best for the common good of the household, the relationship, etc.
I don't believe a woman who knows herself or a strong woman, I don't think she's going to submit for a casual fling. Like, if we're just doing something casually in the streets, we're not exclusive, this is not a relationship, I don't believe that woman is going to naturally submit because it's not something that she's committed to.
Question, what is a casual fling?
We just dipping and dabbling, sticking and, doing a little thing. We haven't had that conversation about exclusivity. We haven't discussed, like, it's me and you, boo. We are moving together forward. It might be me, you, and that boo, and this boo, and I got one too. Like, that's not an exclusive situation. I don't think a woman who knows herself is going to submit to a man in that situation until she knows, like, all right, it's me and you. Now we gotta move forward.
Alright, so Jazz, I felt your eyes touch the back of my ear. What you got? What you got in regards to that as far as a woman being submissive? What does that mean to you? Give me your take on that.
Now, mind you, I'm single. I'm not the person in a relationship. But I feel like I do agree that a woman will, submit to a partner, a one that they deem as worthy of being submitted to, one who's, proven themselves to be someone who, wants to take the lead in certain situations, one who is a protector, one who, looks out for their family in other ways, even if it's not just, as that financial person, but being that spiritual leader of their household and making sure their family is prayed up to. But women will submit to that person as long as they are the right person, or as long as they are someone who is worth being, submitted to. I'm not going to submit to somebody who, not trying to do something, who not trying to, further my family, who not trying to further this relationship. What's the point?
So you said spiritually, what does that mean? Because what if you do sage and he don't?
I mean, it's not a...
I'm just trying to figure out because a lot of people do sage.
I mean, you still pray for me. You ain't got to do sage. You ain't got to burn sage and not to pray for me or wish my well-being. People still have spiritual relationships even if they look different.
What do you mean look different?
I'm a spiritual person. I pray, but I don't go to church every Sunday.
You look normal. You got some lashes on.
This man out.
You got some lashes on. But you look normal.
I am normal, but my spiritual walk looks different than some people. I don't go.
Gotcha.
I don't go to church every day. Although I do pray every day. I do, seek spiritual guidance. Not every day, but on Sunday.
My bad. Hey, listen. I'm a few shots in.
The quarantine did make me go to church a little bit more, even though it was on Facebook doing live. I did go to church a lot more.
Hey, let's toast to going to church more on Facebook Live.
Shoot, shout out to Watson.
Let's toast to it. Shout out to Watson. Each week.
I don't know if we should be toasting to church.
They said Jesus turned water into wine.
Yeah, so we just do it.
Toast to
This
Jesus.
is actually.
It's just not real.
We gonna toast.
This is communion. This is communion of. This is the first communion of the year.
Fellowship.
But, Mom, what's your take on submissive? Being submissive as a. I mean, just that word within itself.
Do you even think that should be the word? I don't think.
I don't like that. I think
I don't like that word.
I don't like that word. As a man, I don't want.
I just don't like that.
But I'm a different type of nigga. I like my women to be. I like aggressive women.
But that's a conversation for a different day because that's.
But aggressive, I don't think aggressive really.
But I agree.
Goes
I
with
feel you. But
submissive.
certain things I do is to get you to be aggressive.
I
I
feel
don't
like
think that's
he's
the-
saying because some women who feel like submission means passivity and it does not mean. Because I'm a strong ass woman. I am a Leo woman through and through. When I say some shit, I mean that shit. When I feel that shit, I feel that shit.
Are y'all
And so
fire
don't
signs?
tell me otherwise. 3 Leo women, 4 Leo people behind the bar. Shout out to the month of August. But all 4 of us are Leos. But I am a woman who's willing to submit and willing to be that not so strong version of myself for the right person. I'm willing to not feel like I have to be Superwoman Jasmine for the right person. I'll be your Superwoman if you let me, but I don't feel like I have to be in Superwoman mode all the time when I'm with someone who I feel like protects me, cares about me, and loves me.
Well, what if we don't want nobody? What if we didn't want you to be in Superwoman mode? We don't need.
That's what I'm
Superwoman.
saying. We don't want to be in Superwoman mode. We want to be in Superwoman mode for our kids, for other people. We want you to be Superman.
Well, at that point, let me just go ahead and throw this out there. There's a lot of women out here that they are totally content, and that's what they want to do. They want to be Superwoman. That's what they want to be. They want to be. I'm gonna super in, save this man, and make him see his potential and do the things that he will. But the thing is, in all actuality, and RNS, RNS, it is not gonna work. Because you can't make nobody do what they don't want to do. And the thing is, no, y'all can't agree with that. Because the thing is, what y'all want to do is, you want to keep going. You want to go with these homosexuals.
He's not using terms. I taught him that term. He didn't know that shit like 2 weeks ago. And now he uses it every episode.
When you get words that you add to your vocabulary, there's no worries for you to use them. So I'm going to use them. And the thing is, most females be content with that. And the thing is, they think that they can be Superwoman, and guess what? You can't. Because at the end of the day, it's the head and not the neck.
But they're Superwoman. But that's like I said, a lot of times, those are women who have not been scorned in being in Superwoman mode. And once a woman has been hurt by being in Superwoman mode, they realize they ain't got to do that shit all the time.
Well,
now you shouldn't take you getting hurt to realize you ain't got to do that shit all the time.
Just never went to Superwoman mode. And
there'll be the aunties that ain't never got no kids that's at the family reunion. You just gonna have to deal with that.
That's not true because somebody can have kids just by lying down.
I mean, well, they could be the auntie with the kids that ain't never been married, but her kids do what they supposed to do and they all got good jobs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that auntie too.
I like that auntie too.
But I'm saying that's the aunt. Like, I have an aunt who did not get married until she was in her 50s. But my aunt had her shit together. She didn't accept less than, and that's just when it happened.
How many years she been married?
I mean, my aunt, she was married like 15 years up until she went to see Jesus.
Amen.
But yeah, but they did that shit. Like his kids was her kids because she never had kids. His grandchildren was her grandchildren. That's just what it was. But it be like that. And I would say the bad aspect.
I don't want to know.
Okay.
I don't know what you seen. I don't know what you seen. I want to know. No. Let me clear this up. I want to know from your perspective.
Okay.
Not what you seeing from everybody else's whatever. What marriage is to you in general. As general as you can make it. What is marriage?
In one word, commitment.
So
that's as general as I can go. That's
so
as
the
general
thing
as
is,
I can go.
I can sit here as a basketball coach and
But it
tell
can be
you
a
a lot of
contractual
basketball guys that say that they were committed to something that actually weren't.
And that's like a
and there be people be in marriages that say that they're committed that actually weren't.
So my thing is, what is marriage, Mo? You sitting over here.
But
what
marriage
is
can be both good and bad. Like you're not asking.
I agree with Jasmine saying marriage is good and bad, but I don't think nobody's marriage is perfect. But not getting off subject, but marriage is commitment, partnership. I feel like it is. I wouldn't say. Let me not say submission. Let me say compromise. It's compromise. It's understanding. It's you have to know that this is a person that I can see myself growing, blossoming, and that being vulnerable. That's someone that you can be vulnerable with. All of that shit.
Ronnie, you shoot?
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off Simone. I can agree with marriage is somebody that you can communicate with, you can be vulnerable with. By being vulnerable means that you can show your weak side, but also they trust that you can be strong enough to handle whatever y'all going through. So it's got to be a compromise on both ends. You got to be willing to give and receive the criticism from your partner and the love from your partner.
And I think that's going to
receive both.
I think it's gonna look different with everybody too, because it's different people that build that relationship.
Yeah,
what's marriage for me is not gonna be marriage for somebody else, because I'm a different type of female. Right. So you can't necessarily look to somebody else's or look at or what you think your idea of a marriage is until you're actually in that, because you don't really know. Until you, it's like being a parent, motherhood. I didn't know that shit was gonna be until you got there, put your feet wet.
This is the thing though.
You know.
If you waiting to figure out what marriage is, once, or
I think you're supposed to go to marriage counseling.
But this is the thing though. If you waiting to figure out what marriage is, when you get into the marriage, you already off on the bad foot. From what I'm thinking, because the thing is, you don't even know what you're getting into before you sign that contract. Because honestly, what I think marriage is I think that shit is a show. I think yes. I let y'all talk. I let y'all talk. I let everybody rock off. But y'all not listening. Y'all not listening to hear.
I am. This is one of those times. Just listen to them.
What I'm saying is,
a lot of men feel like this.
What I'm saying is, bro, this is a show. This is a show. This now puts us in a contract with the state and the government, and they say God as well. But why can't I have, if I got a spiritual connection with you, why can't I have God in this house without signing a paper? Because the thing is, it's something that y'all want, and it's understood because that's every little girl's dream to be married. I don't care what you say. The thing is, you might have been hurt, and it knocked that off path because that's life. But anybody that can sit here, everybody wants to be loved, and what we associate love with is marriage, and that's why I just wanted to hear y'all's perspective, because at the end of the day, I think I speak for a lot of guys that won't say what they want to say, and that's for another episode for another day, as Zay was talking about people saying what wants to be seen on social media to satisfy their partner or whatever, but that's a whole nother conversation, like I said. But at the end of the day, the only reason why I am I agree with, all right, you should get married, because the thing is, if you go on, that person has nothing.
Yeah.
Or nothing to you. So I agree with that. But the thing is, what else? What else besides you gonna go out and get this big dress and all my boys gonna have these tux on and I'm about to spend all of this money to get even more in debt if you got college debt. I mean, depending on your situation. Depending on your situation. It is marriage. That's the wedding. That's the wedding. The wedding is a big part of marriage, because the thing is, if you did not need the wedding, you'd be like Shamar and Mosey, who did not have the big wedding, and they did something very small, and they've been together for a whole lot of years. But the thing is, for the time that we're in, most people want that ring so they can go to IG and Facebook and show people that they got that ring. So at the end of the day, if that's your only motive as far as you need to show me that after so many years that you appreciate me, the thing is, I can show that in other ways besides a ring.
So I think when it comes to marriage, like, two people need to sit down and flush out that definition for themselves. Like, they need to, you and your partner need to define what marriage looks like for you. So my fiance and I started having this conversation, and we haven't finished it yet, but that was a question that it's a conversation we need to have. We've never seen a marriage work fully. Like, my parents are, both sets of my parents, I'm adopted, both sets of parents are divorced. His mom's not married. So, like, we personally did not grow up with parents that had successful marriages. So now we really have to step back and take a look at it and be like, okay, so what does marriage mean to us? Like, why do we want to take this step versus just being in a long-term boyfriend-girlfriend relationship? Yeah. So I think every couple needs to take that step to sit down and really have that difficult conversation. So, like, what does this mean for us? What do we expect from each other? What does that mean in terms of intimacy? What does that mean in terms of romance? Like, what do you expect of me as your wife? What do you expect of me as your husband? Like, those conversations have to be had, because too many of us let social norms or what we've been taught or social media kind of dictate how we feel. So, like, personally for us, we're talking about not fully having a wedding right now. Like, I did grow up wanting a big ass wedding and a dress, but for what? Like, what am I spending $40,000 on a day for?
For everybody else to eat.
Right. But we have
We're not
two
finished
kids.
Without, no,
you know, we have 2 kids, and we want to get a house. So what's more important right now?
Yeah.
Us probably getting a house, and we can make this covenant before God with anybody. My mom's a minister. Like, we can really call my mom and be like, yo,
me too.
I don't mean to stop you, but I'm registered.
you might do jazz with
Go ahead.
you want a shot?
I can marry you.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want nobody at the bar.
Do it right now.
Get it right.
I can do it at the bar live.
Bar wedding.
I think what you just said
We already got the tent.
is really important, because we,
Glasses.
as a community, and I'm talking about millennials, because I guess the older people, they might have seen it, even though Uncle John might have been going down the street and had a whole nother family, but that's a whole nother conversation too. But a lot of us haven't seen that.
Seen what?
A successful marriage.
But again, like Jasmine said and Shauna, once you communicate to your partner, you're telling them how you want to be loved.
Yeah.
So it's either that's make or break. They let you know what they said. Either you know you're going to marry them, or you know that you're going to leave. Because I just express what I need, what I want. So it's either going to be give or take. You're going to give it or you're not.
Y'all seen that meme where it's like, choose your hard?
Yeah.
Like, marriage is hard, divorce is hard, choose your hard.
Yeah,
like,
hard,
being skinny is hard, being fat is hard, choose your hard. Like, being married or being in a long-term relationship or being single is hard. Like, there's different aspects to the hard, so you have to kind of decide as a person, like, what am I willing to deal with?
Pick your strap.
If I'm willing to deal with this one person and all their ups, downs, ins, outs, then that's it.
Okay.
I ain't right a little bit.
So what about these girls
bit.
that they got, so they married, and they on social media, and they got a side nigga.
Oh, that's between them and their husband right there.
Oh no, it ain't between them and their husband.
But
because
you know what?
they on Snapchat and their husband ain't there on the private
But
Snap.
those are people that should have never been married from the beginning. because those are people who probably got married because they was out here. They
doing it for social media, like
but doing it for social media, or I got pregnant before,
or
we was together, so I got pregnant, so we just got a sham of a marriage. Those are people who didn't fully grow and know each other before they got married. So now I feel like I want to go and sow my royal fucking oats when you should have sold them shits before you fucking got married.
But what about these Indians and stuff that got these mixed marriages and they don't know nothing about nothing?
I don't believe in that shit. Now I don't agree with that. That's other people's cultures and other people's religions, and I respect that. But that would not be what's up for me. And I say that because
okay, but there's a societal difference.
I don't.
It is. Very.
It's not a necessity for me. I'm not gonna say that I don't want, but it's not something that is a necessity for me. I've seen marriages both good and bad. My parents were married for 34 years up until the day my daddy took it and went to see Jesus.
Right.
But my sister's been in a couple failed marriages. It be like that sometimes.
Why would marriage be a necessity for somebody?
Some people feel like in order to show that they've made it or they've reached some pillar of success as a person is to say that they've been married. And I don't understand why. I don't get that.
If your only goal or your success story in life is you getting married, you need to reassess your life.
You should.
Hey.
You should.
Y'all suck.
That's like the person that posts on IG and they on a full figure being successful at dance because they got 500 likes. I mean, they living their life for the life. Right.
Alright, well, alright, so we were going through that. We were talking about that stuff. Let's try to lighten it up a little bit. Let's talk about what we're thankful for in 2021. Well, I'll just start it out. As the guy being the head of the bar, since we said that is the head of y'all. But what I'll say is, I'm thankful for love, life, family, friends, and God. Toast to that.
Cheers.
Any of you can just chime in as you please.
I go. I am thankful for stability. You know, having a roof over my head every day, even though it ain't the roof I want. I am thankful for having somewhere that I can go every day. Because there's a lot of people who don't have that, and you know, at Race for Achievement, look at us on Instagram. We have a Feeding Our Neighbors event coming up on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Make sure you donate. You donate at Sharon Williams on Providence, and at Fourth Ward Barber and Hairstyling. So donate so we can get back to our community. Back to what I was saying, I am thankful for stability. I am thankful for my daughter. I am one of those people that never wanted to be a parent ever. But my daughter changed my life. You know, she softened me up a little bit. That's my little dog. So I'm thankful for her, and I am thankful for a career in which I can give back on a daily basis because service is something that is near and dear to my heart. And the fact that I am able to get back into the lives of black and brown kids. I didn't have but 2 teachers that looked like me from kindergarten all the way up to the time I graduated. So being someone who can show kids that, you know, there's things you can do outside of, you know, your usuals, and especially giving back, that's what I'm thankful for and what I'm blessed for.
Alright, who we got up next? What you thankful for? What's good?
I'll go. I'm thankful for being able to still, you know, get up daily and help provide for family. Make sure that the kids are situated. Make sure my family in Durham is situated. You know, with the pandemic going on, there's a lot of people that's been affected by it. Thank God that we personally have not, but there's a lot of people lost their jobs, again, like Jasmine said. A lot of people that are struggling. So again, if y'all can, make sure you donate. And also, make sure you pray. Pray, because we are in a time that is like really trying for everybody. Just make sure you pray. Keep your spirits up. Be thankful that you actually are here on this day, next day, tomorrow, New Year. Amen. Or today.
Hallelujah.
Who was shushing for one?
You.
Y'all.
This is
What
y'all.
we thankful for?
We was in the camera, fool.
Didn't you say there's a main camera?
We were saying
Exactly.
Hey, if y'all could have
You were
heard
on your tippy toes.
comment and say we could have heard you.
Pammy needed talking to y'all.
We know.
He needed talking.
What's good? What we thankful for? What we thankful for?
I'm thankful for life, health.
Yes.
This year has been a hell of a year, but yet a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
So for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for my health, Lord, because a lot of people had a trying year, and I'm thankful for staying coronavirus free.
Amen. Praise him. Hey.
Shout out to Ryan. He had coronavirus.
3 times. 3 times.
How is that possible? A little weak immune system.
He didn't drink, so he needs some milk.
What you got, Shaad? What you think?
No. I am thankful for the family that I have been able to create, because the family that I was born into is questionable. So I'm thankful for my fiance. I'm thankful for our sons, that they are healthy and smart and witty and characters.
Cute.
They're pretty cute. They are. I'm thankful, like Jazz said, to be in a career where I can impact Black and brown scholars on the regular. It's been a tough week, so it's hard for me to kind of think about thankful, because I lost a scholar this week. She passed away. She had aplastic anemia and went through a whole lot of stuff. So, but I'm thankful that I got a chance to know her. So this is, I'm thinking about you, Janiyah Smith, and your family, and I love you, and I know you're not in pain anymore. So thankful.
Prayers to Janiyah's family. Yes.
Praying for you.
And with that being said, we are thankful for all of you. On Anchor, on Spotify, on Apple, and also Pandora.
Hey.
And I'm not going to say more importantly, but if you get the visual aspect, you're getting a little different flavor. So, our subscribers, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Shout out to you all. Prosperity to you, prosperity to your families, prosperity to your loved ones, friends, etc. 2021 is our year. Barcasters, go up.
Hey, but can we talk about these two at the end, knowing that they was in the good light and acting like it? Cause this motherfucker over here, she got the neck moving. Listen, she was on it. She was like, I know that light's on me.
It's the lashes. It's the lashes.
She was over there acting up.
I don't got mine on today, so I'm not
I
feeling
do
it.
actually, for once. Let me
I don't have mine on.
no,
I debated with myself.
Jazz knew that light was like.
Right there.
For all the podcasters listening and watching, I want y'all to know that my eyelashes are real.
Okay.
They are.
Man, I always got the good lashes.
Hey, they are real. So
Both my sons got it.
there you go. But
The men always have the best lashes.
let's get a word from our sponsors. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back to wrap this show up. Welcome to the new year, folks.